Hi, this is Peaches from auntpeaches.com. This is my first Google Hangout, so it's exciting. Today we are going to make these little. Can you see this? It's like I think it's a Mexican folk craft. It's aluminum, and I think they normally color it with like alcohol inks or something. It's a traditional kind of Mexican folk craft, but I see it everywhere. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to make it into a picture frame. So we're doing this in conjunction with Consumer Crafts and Crafty Hangout. So shout out to them, and let's get started. I'll show you what you need. My very elegant move there. You see that? All right, so item number one, what you're going to need is a wooden picture frame. It can be any kind of picture frame, I guess. Anything that's just sort of got a nice wide surface, and you're going to see what we're going to do with it in a minute. You're also going to need a hot glue gun. Mine is well worn. As you can see, Consumer Crafts sells some lovely hot glue guns, but I would rather have an ugly hot glue gun that works really well than a nice brand new one. So that is authentic. And you're going to need some permanent markers. I'm using Sharpies. You can use other brands, but I think you're going to see when we get a little further into the craft that having a Sharpie, this particular kind of head on the marker, is going to come in handy. I'm going to focus this for a second. Is that a little bit better? Hopefully. Okay. And then this is the secret ingredient. This is aluminum duct tape. It's not duct tape, duct tape. You'll find it in a hardware store for probably about $4, maybe $5 a roll. And you'll know it's different from regular tape because it actually, see if I can get this started, comes apart as a peelable backing. This is actually a really thin strip of aluminum with a really sticky backing on it. And again, it's not expensive and it comes in handy for all kinds of stuff. But today we're going to use it for our frame. So this one, to save time, I got this started. All you need is to go over this. Can you see this? I'm drawing like little circles all along here. They're just little basic circle shapes. Nothing fancy, nothing exciting, just really basic circles. Let me scoot this out a little bit. Okay, so all you do, take your glue gun and just draw little circles. So you can see a little tissue paper. Ignore that, nobody's gonna see it, that's fine. Doing this on the air. All right, and then fill that out and just draw little circles. And nothing fancy, just trying to get it down. If you're doing this with little kids and you don't want to get the hot glue gun out, you can use any kind of regular craft glue that dries thick. I like the tacky glue line. Those are really nice. There's lots of other white glues. Regular school glues like Elmer's and stuff, they will work, but they tend to spread out a bit, and that's not going to give you the definition that you really want here. So hot glue works really nice, and it dries super quick. So that's why we're using it here. But you could do any kind of design that you want. I think if you're doing the more traditional kind of folk art kind of a thing, you might do, you know, flowers and stripes and stars and all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to keep this simple. So for today, we just filled it in with a bunch of circles. I'm going to flip this over so we can go where all this is cooled off. You might, you know, if you're a little more sophisticated than myself, you might want to go in with like a paintbrush and wipe away the glue strings. I'm not that concerned about it. So for today, we're just going to keep it how it is. Just start out, measure a piece of tape just about the length of your picture frame. Peel off your backing. And I'm going to overlap it just a little bit here because I want to make sure to cover that inside rim. And just smooth it out. Wrap it under on both sides. And I don't need a scissors. If I was a little bit more consistent in my work, I would use the scissors, but you really don't need it. This stuff will tear all on its own. Just get in there and poke it down. No big deal. Take another strip. Tear it off. You don't want it to overlap too much. The thinner it is, the more distinction you're going to get in all your little ridges and ripples, but you know, a little bit of overlap isn't going to kill anybody, so feel free. And then, you know, you can use your fingers to really get in there, but honestly, I find it much more effective. I just use the back of one of these Sharpie markers, and I'll go in there and just kind of, you know, rub it around. Kind of, I think the technical term is to burnish in these little areas, but I don't particularly mind. I just use my permanent marker. Get in there, make sure it's stuck where it needs to be stuck, and the stuff is not delicate. Okay, you can rub on this. You could probably take like a mallet or even sandpaper if you wanted to make it look, you know, old and aged. But the point is, you're just really getting it in there. And then you come along with your permanent markers, and inside each one of these circles, I'm going to color it in a little bit. And this is why I like the Sharpies. There are a lot of really awesome permanent markers on the market, but Sharpies have this little tip on them that is really, I mean, it's kind of, I think they call it a bullet tip. It's pointed, but it's tough. It's not a fine tip at all. So it really gets in all the little ridges. Now, I just jumped a little piece right there. That happened. This aluminum, you have a little bit of a grace period. Normally with a Sharpie on like regular paper, you don't have that grace period. It goes on and it's stuck. Here you have probably 10 seconds where it's a little bit malleable, so you can wipe it off. If you get on something and then you decide you don't want it, just use nail polish remover. Anything with like an acetone base, that'll get it out just fine. So I'm not being very particular about where I put my markings. I'm just kind of switching around colors. Dark colors show up better on camera, but truth be told, I really like the way lighter colors look as well. And Sharpie makes all kinds of wonderful colors, of course, all of which you will find on consumercrafts.com. See here, I'm using like an Easter egg, kind of like an aqua color. It does not show up quite as well, certainly not on camera, but you're going to have to take my word for it. In person, it looks lovely. Let's try an orange. Anyway, and you can see as you go along, all these little pockets and stuff, they start filling themselves out. And you get these wonderful kind of jewel effects all over everything. And it's really cool. So you could do all the sort of inside all these circles, you know, one color, and then do the fill in all the gaps with another color. Up to you. I just like to leave the circle outlines, these little kind of circular shapes on top. I leave those silver. I mean, that's a matter of preference. You could even go over, if you have alcohol inks, you could swipe the whole thing in one color and then go in and do your little colors and stuff. It's totally up to you. But you can imagine you keep on going and it looks pretty cool. I did a smaller version I'll show you. And this is just a basic picture frame. They sell these over on Consumer Crafts. You're gonna love them. They come with the glass, the whole thing. You know, you could use them to, you know, picture frame for a member of your family, or a drawing, or, you know, just about anything. I think it's just a really lovely technique to show off, you know, your skills. I think it's really great. So I'm gonna keep on working on this. And maybe if you're interested in seeing the final product, stop by my site. It's ampeaches.com. And thanks for stopping by.